Okay, the second part of this assignment here, it says, example 3, use the Venn diagram to illustrate the set notation here. Now, instead of looking at the diagram and seeing where they overlap or union or something, we're taking this stuff and we got to get the correct fill-in of the diagram from that. So sometimes, like this one here says H intersect F complement intersect with W. So let's start by this is important note taking, looking at what is H intersect F complement first. Okay, let's do that first. Then we will add the intersection with W. So I'm just going to write intersection with W, such that this little symbol here in mathematics is called such that we get the whole thing we want, right? H intersect F complement intersect W. You can't look at the whole thing to do it. You got to start with little pieces. So what we want to start with here is we want to look at the intersection complement. Remember, the complement is what's not in. So where's the intersection of H and F? H and F is, there's their intersections where they overlap. But we don't want that. We want the complement of that. That's everything but that. So I'm going to do it in red here. Let me change my color here. Can I do it in red? Maybe I should do it in blue. So I want everything that's not in the intersection of that. And that would be everything but that if I'm doing the complement, correct? Even the universe. So the stuff in blue is everything but that. There it is. That's this part here that we did. Now we got to look at that with the intersection. We need that to intersect with W. So I got a lot of stuff written there. I know the stuff in the blue is everything else other than that stuff in black. And then I want only the stuff that overlaps with W. So, sorry, I had to erase that. But if we look at what only overlaps with W, which is not part of that, that would be all of this, wouldn't it? Remember, everything was shaded, correct? The whole universe was shaded other than the stuff here in black, correct? We have the whole universe. But we don't want the whole universe. We want it to intersect with W. So the whole universe with W down here is this. But remember, W can't be a part of H intersect F complement. We can't have that. So that's the stuff that I have in the blue here. Okay. And then if we take a look at the next one, and I could get stuck on these and I'll pause and think about it and come back to the video. Create an expression to represent the outline parts of the Venn diagram. So we want to create an expression. So we're looking at that little piece there. That would be hard to get that piece there. I can tell you right now that if we look at this right here, this would be what? That would be, what I did in blue would be, I don't know why I wrote an A there. That would be H intersect with F, wouldn't it? Right there where I do my blue. But I don't want the whole H intersect F. So how can we get rid of the stuff down at the bottom there for part of W? How can we get rid of that? Can I change my color here, green maybe? I don't want it to be, I don't want this part down here, correct? I don't want that part within my blue. So how about I do intersect W complement? That means it can't be in W. It can't be any part of W here. That would throw out this piece right here and give me the stuff in red that's originally marked on this. That will work perfectly fine. So your answer to this one here, I change my color here. My answer to this one is H intersect F, which is what I seen in blue, but I don't want it to be in the W, So I intersect it with not W, W complement. And the next one here. We got this one here. Look at that. That's kind of weird. I can tell you if we looked at this whole thing here and that whole thing there, I could say that that is H union with F, all of H, all of F, and all where they overlap. But we don't want it to be touching the W. So we could do, again, intersection with W complement, which means it throws W out. I still got what's the union of H and F, but I just thrown out W there, and I think that works fine. That tosses W out the minute you say complement there. W's got to go. And we still got all of H and F, and all of H over here, correct? And throws W out. Okay, so the last couple of problems here, exercise 5 in the survey that investigated high school backgrounds of 110 freshmen, the following information was obtained. So we're looking at this universe over here, which deals with math, biology, and physics. And it looks like we want to take all these different ones and find out what numbers go in the overlaps and what goes by themselves in just math or physics. And you got to do this carefully because sometimes you got to take one away from the other to find out what's going in an overlapping. So what I like to start with is right in here. What's in all three, math, biology, and physics? And that would be this one here. 5 took all 3 subjects. So that's where I'd put my number 5, for 5 people did all 3 subjects there. Let me see if I can fix that number. And then I go on from there. The next one here, 6 took physics and biology. So if you got physics and biology, right here is physics, right here is biology. 6 took them both. We already have a little bit of an overlapping in the center, don't we? And if there's a total of 6 that took this, correct? Let me make sure I got this right. Physics and biology there. 6 took them. We got 5 that's overlap, and there's one more right there. That adds to 6 in physics and biology. So that took care of that one. And then our next one here, 8 took biology and math. So now we're looking at the biology circle here, correct? With the math circle. And we already have 5 there, and it's saying that 8 took this, correct? So there's another 3 here. And so those two add up to the ones that overlapped with biology and math, which adds up to 8. And then our next one there is 10. 10 took physics and math. So here's my math. Here's my physics. We already got 5 that's overlapping, so we have another 5 right there. How about 48 took math? So it didn't say anything about that, how they couldn't be overlapping. It just said that 48 took math. Well, we already got the maths right in this area here. So what we want to do is we want to take that 48 and take away what? 13 from it, don't we? And so that gets me 35. So if we put a 35 here plus add those 3, we got a total of 48 took math, right? It didn't say anything about the overlapping. So those that overlap also took math. We just got to find the rest, and that's what I did. I took away the center from that. And that took care of that one. 45 took biology. Where's my biology? It's over here, correct? So here's some of my overlappings. They're still taking biology. We know we have a total of 45 that took biology. So let's take the 45 and take away the 3, 5, and 1. So that'd be 9, which would get you 36, wouldn't it? And the last one, let's see, 25 took physics. Doesn't talk about the overlapping, but the overlapping is part of the people that took physics. So if we got 25 there, we're going to take away the 11 others that are in the physics and add overlapping. So we have a total of 14 on this spot over here. So that circle here represents all the people who took physics. Did I leave anything out? Let's see, fill in the pattern. How many students took biology but neither physics nor math? I'm going to let you guys answer this. Let me look at this. How many did not take Any of the three. Here, let me do this one for you. But I'd like to see you guys do these three here. Okay, so those are for you. How about this one? How many did not take three subjects? Did not take the three subjects. Well, what was our total amount in the universe? In a survey that investigated the high school background, 110 freshmen. So we're investigating the high school background of 110 freshmen. So our universe is basically these 110, and these freshmen were in math, biology, and physics. Excuse me. There's 110 in the universe, but it's talking about specific people that took math, biology, and physics over here. So if we add up all this information here, right, we could find out how many took biology, math, and physics out of the 110 freshmen. So let's do that again. We got 35, 45, so we got 48 for math only. We got, I don't want to overlap, I counted everything in this circle for math, so I need to count these from the biology. I want to count everything that's in these three circles and see what, and subtract it from the 110 to find out who's in the universe that never took any of these classes. So I took 48, and let's see, 36, and this one is 37, and then the 14 over here. And that gets me, what, 8 and 7 is 15, that's 19, carry the 1. That's 7, 8, 9, so that's 99. And if you take that from 110, you get 11. So 11 people didn't take any of those three subjects. They sit outside of those circles. And that's it for our work together on sets and Venn diagrams, kind of like we're doing a class lecture together. Please make sure that you do your final draft and you have your rough draft. And you maybe, if you don't want to upload two of them, I think the best way to go is to two different colored pens, right? Or a pencil and then maybe your final and a pen. However you want to do it in case you make a mistake, you want to rate something. But please have some information written down for your rough draft, which is where you do it on your own. And then you need to have all this final material. And you could put additional stuff other than what you see in the video, because you could use this to study for your final exam. Okay? See you in the next video.